Hatfield in public for decades. "As long as Mrs. Hatfield is competent to find the errors in my books," Rex went on, "and she can do so without alerting the London Gazette, I will consider myself eternally in her debt." Perhaps he could make the fearsome Mrs. Hatfield giggle, or at least smile. The day and the night went ever so much more smoothly when the ladies were smiling. Penrose tried to walk more quickly. Rex refused to oblige him. They were early. The autumn weather was gloriously temperate for the time of year, a false summer that could not last, and what awaited Rex at the bank was hardly cause for eagerness. "Mrs. Hatfield," Penrose said, "is one of those annoying people who can glance at an entire page of figures and spot where somebody read a 3 as a 5. Her acumen is unnerving, and she doesn't understand how unusual she is." Penrose was a lean, tall blonde who did justice to exquisitely tailored morning attire, especially now that he deigned to adorn himself with a lowly carnation. His origins were vague, but he looked every inch the London nabob. Rex knew Penrose's partner better than he knew Penrose, but he trusted both men. Under the circumstances, Rex had no choice but to trust them. "Isn't it in the nature of an eccentric," he said, "to believe themselves the pattern card of normality? One of my aunts collects shoes. She goes on and on about them, and no matter how often the subject is changed, she brings the conversation back to shoes, as if no other topic merits discussion." "You dare not refer to our Mrs. Hatfield as eccentric," Penrose said, looking about as if checking for eavesdroppers. "She will reciprocate with her own opinion regarding you, the King, the Corn Laws, and half the bills pending in Parliament." "You are protective of your auditor," Rex said. "You needn't be. I respect ability wherever I find it." Then, too, beggars could not be choosers, especially not ducal beggars. They came to another intersection, and Rex flipped the crossing sweeper a coin. "How's business, Leonidas?" The boy caught the veil in a grimy paw. "Right stinky, your grace. Thank you very much." "Glad to hear it. Try calling your enterprise odoriferous instead. You'll sound like a duke." "Odoriferous?" Leonidas replied, grinning. "Almost. Odor if or us. Odor if or us. My enterprise is odoriferous, and that means my job stinks. Thank ye, your grace." Penrose made a sound that might have been distress, and cut across the street the instant a coach and four had rattled past. "Enterprise and enterprising were last week's words," Rex said. "He likes big words, and I like to cross the street without stepping in horse droppings. A fair exchange." That observation spiked Penrose's guns for about 6 paces. Then, like the stalwart financier he was, he regained his verbal footing. More's the pity. "Regarding Mrs. Hatfield," he said, "what she has, your grace, goes beyond ability. She was one of our first customers, because she had known his Grace of Walden previously. His reputation for fair dealing preceded him, which is why, when her statement arrived, with a mistake amounting to 2pence, she demanded to see the bank partners. She looked about at the clerks, pointed a finger at one of our most promising lads, and accused him of failing to focus on his duties. Imagine that! A bank ledger failing to hold a fellow's attention." Rex knew of no stronger soporific than column after column of figures. He'd inherited the Dorset and Becker Savings and Trust at the age of 21, a singular irony, when a man had little aptitude for bookkeeping and inadequate time to tend to his own finances. "Mrs. Hatfield looked at a dozen young fellows," Penrose went on, "all dressed about the same, and picked out the one who'd made a minor error. When we went back through his work at her insistence, he'd made 2 other mistakes, one for £8. His calculations were usually so accurate that the man assigned to verify them hadn't paid adequate attention either." Penrose had clearly been fascinated with this 2-penny drama, while Rex simply wanted to be done with the day's business. No previous Duke of Elsmore had ever had to bother his handsome